Hey, this is a quick Blendshape tutorial. I'm going to show you exactly what to do in the beginning, just a quick overview, but then I'll go more in depth in the rest of the video if you want to watch the rest. So let's go. So any characters that do have Blendshape's available, like this character I'm going to import here, you can import into Cascadeur as well. When importing, just make sure you rig it. There's my character all rigged. Let's just see what it consists of. You will see there is my body, head, arms and legs. Next we click on mesh mode. There he is on mesh mode, and as soon as you click there you'll see this opens up here. So we've got my Blendshapes SK Vampire, which is my character. You open up there and then we see all these possibilities we can do, like the mouse shrug over there. But we're looking for this Blendshape's name. We say copy, click there to copy it. Then we add a track, and then we paste that Blendshape's name in there. Okay, and then I like to move it here in the scene so it's separated. So now I can animate my face via Blendshapes, and my character's animation, body animations is separate. So for example, I will let my character move forward via this new in-betweening from Cascadeur. So let's say to there, highlight that, and press in between. Now my character's gonna walk. And then we can also do Blendshapes as well, so all separate. So the Blendshapes will be separate from the body movement or body animation. So for example, he's walking there, no movement, and then I can decide I want to add some Blendshapes there. Select mesh mode, click on his body with his face, and for example I can now morph him into a vampire over there, and then I can just add my interpolation. This actually, this side, I'll put him back as a human. As an interpolation here. There we go. So now, as you see, he's walking. It's changing into a vampire. And that changes back. So now you can add any Blendshapes, change any features you want, make him happy, whatever you want. And then it's all independent from his normal animation. So if you keep on watching, I will show you how to use facial mocap using Unreal, how to export that into Cascadeur, and how to export it back into Unreal. So this is a quick tutorial for anybody who wants to use Blendshapes, but if you continue watching, I'll show you exactly how to use it in Unreal as well.
Got a better explanation?
Today we're going to work with Blendshapes. I'm also going to show you how to record your facial capture in Unreal and then place it into your character in Cascadeur using their Blendshapes. So this is me. I am a werewolf. Rah! Or this is me. I'm a lady. Or this is me. I'm a priest. After reviewing that, I see I must make my facial expressions more exaggerated. And I'll also do some expressions. So let's start expressions first. Happy, sad, and angry. Me rolling my eyes, blinking, eyes closed. And this is me talking in an exaggerated fashion. I am opening my mouth widely, tongue. So if I talk like this, which is very South African, if I talk, I'm going to talk with my mouth open a lot more, but hopefully this helps with the animation. I don't have to talk like this, but this is what is coming out of my mouth.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to see that.
So I'm going to show you how to export these animations, and then how to add in the Cascadeur, and then how to edit it. Yeah, I'm going to use the priest's animation, but this will work exactly the same for the werewolf and Valkyrie and other lady. we'll edit it, and then I'll put it back into Unreal, and then you can see what it looks like. I'll also add animation, body animation to it as well, so we can see what it looks like. So first thing we have to do is save the animation. So I'm going to use the priest as the example. So we go look for his mesh, skeletal mesh here, we open it, and then the facial capture that I use is meta humans. So you can use your iPhone. In this case, I've sourced an iPhone. You can use the iPhone to record your facial animation, put it into Unreal, and then convert that back. Then convert it over into an animation, which we're going to import into Cascadeur. There is other ways as well to record your facial animation. I'll also provide links below for that. Other creators have actually found ways. I haven't tried that, but if you've got an Android or any other way of recording, it might help for you as well. So you find your mesh. I'm going to use this priest. Here he is, the skeletal mesh. Double click there. Then I'm going to open the animation side. So you see there's animations for him already. If you are familiar with Unreal and MetaHuman, we just follow this process as well. So you go look for your capture data, which is this one. You drag and drop it into your Unreal Engine. You double click on the slate. We then go back to the mesh. There's the mesh and animation. We click on preview controller. We make it live link preview controller. And then I go to live link subject name. And there's my slate. So open that slate there. I like to zoom in onto face so to see that it's captured correctly. And then we click record. And then we type in, we save the animations. I'm going to say this, it's a animated performance priest, and it's 30 frames per second. I'm going to leave it at 30 frames per second, and I'm going to use 30 frames per second in my Cascadeur file as well. And we go okay, now it's recording. Then you go back to your MetaHuman performance, and then we click play. And we're going to go back to the priest, and as you can see, it's busy recording there. So we just finished it to record. This is the exactly same recording I used, what you just saw now, of the expressions. You can see he's making like these weird moves with his face. It's just my quality of recording wasn't that great. I do have a beard, so I think it messes up with that as well. We are gonna fix that now in Cascadeur. And I'll show you how to do that. So let's wait for recording to finalize, and then that is done. We press stop, and performance has been saved. Okay, so I'm going to close here, and then we have got to export that to our to Cascadeur. So I'm looking for my priest animated performance, which is this. Double click there. As you see, is the performance, and then we just right click on the animation here, and we say asset actions, export, and I'm going to save it under my project, which is the Blendshapes project, and there's my animated priest. So this one needs to be selected. Export morph targets and export preview mesh. So vertex color, collision, export morph targets, and export preview mesh. Export. So it's important that the mesh comes along with the animation. So, there we go. Okay, so now we rig it. That is important. Yes, okay. Add rig elements. Generate rig. And there it is, and let's just see it works properly. Click there. And as you can see, there our animation has been transferred to the face. Okay, so that's exactly what we want. Okay, so now as you can see, the face moves, but not the body, which is also fine. Perfectly fine. I want to edit the face anyways, and we can put the animation on later. Oh no, yeah, we'll do it later. So let's do the face first. So now we need to put the facial animation on its own tab there. So what we do next is we select on mesh mode, click on the character, and you'll see the under the properties here, there's Blendshapes SK Vampire Priest. For example, it'll also be different, but it'll also be Blendshapes, and we open that up. Here is all the morph, targets, all the morphing you can do, and we'll play around with it a bit later. So here's a Blendshape's name. We click on that to copy. Then we add a folder here. We select on add track, and we copy this Blendshape's name, and then we paste it there, and we say OK. I also want to separate this track from the rest. I want to keep it on a separate track, so let's see if we can put it over here. There we go. So I'm going to keep the morph target on a separate track so that I can take off all the keyframes here, for example. So I'm going to do that, then highlight Alt F to take it off. And as you can see, the face is still moving, and now I can animate my character as well. So for example, I'm gonna let him pick up his hand up to there. Yes on animation. Let's try again. I'm gonna have to arm up to there, and then the facial animation still goes. And then let's try actually putting it down here, and let's put some interpolation on just to test it out. And as you can see, that still works even with the animation, the body animation going. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this again. So here is our animation of the face. I can put my audio over it as well, which I think I will do. It'll make it a lot easier. And then I'm going to import that into my scene. So file, import audio. And we go to the correct project. There we go, open. Tongue. And now I'm happy with that. Let's just save it as well. Command, keyframe reduction uniform. That worked. This is great. Okay, keyframe reduction, I'll also link below. I prefer it over unbaking. Okay, I did the keyframe reduction, so it takes all the keyframes, every 5th keyframe it keeps. So let's just add animation there, or interpolation there. I like to do the clamped. Okay, and let's look for where the little quivers were. Eyes closed. More exaggerated. Sad. So you see here, angry. The quivers are a lot less now. Me rolling my eyes, blinking, eyes closed, and this is me talking in an exaggerated fashion. I am opening my mouth widely, tongue. So for example here, the tongue, I want to do more outwards, so there's a tongue that's been stuck out. So we can make all our changes over here. So how we do it is we select on our mesh mode, select a mesh, and here's all the morphing we can do. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more. There we go. And then here's the keyframe where the tongue is being stuck out. And then you'll see here some of the morph stuff has already been selected. So I want my tongue to be out more, and it's pretty much as max there. So I can make it, that's the most it can go out. And I can maybe make changes there, so with the jaws open, make the jaw open a bit more closed, whatever I need. So all the changes can be made here. So I'm going to keep the tongue out for longer, so let's just play with that. Where's my tongue again? Mouth stretch, tongue. There's tongue out. There we go. Tongue out there, so let's listen. Tongue, tongue.
So if I talk like this,
so then you can go here and then you can obviously put and refine it or put different animations on, but at least now you can actually see what has been triggered, and then you can play over there. Let us see quickly what else is here.
okay, if I talk, I'm going to talk with my mouth open a lot more, but
So let's go back to expressions.
and this is me talking in an exaggerated fashion. My eyes, me rolling my eyes, sad. So after reviewing that, I see I must make my facial expressions more exaggerated, and I'll also do some expressions. So let's start expressions first. Happy, sad.
See, so there's my happy expression, and we can make it even happier. For example, I just have to go in the keyframe. Oopsie. Here somewhere. I'm just going to zoom back in there. Happy. So I'm going to make the smiles a bit bigger. Let's see what a mouth stretch looks like. Ooh, don't want to do that. So you can stretch the mouth there. What else there? Upper right. Oh, that's very happy. Oh, a bit creepy actually. But that's exactly where we can play with that. I can even okay, that looks happy to me. And so now it's sad over here, so let's see if we can make him a bit more sad. Let's see what has been activated over here. Ooh, not on that. No, it even looks happy. Don't want that, so we want sad. That looks sad. There we go. That's more sad. Mouth frown. That's very sad. See? So then we could even make the changes there so that it matches what we want. So obviously animating the face, it's going to take a lot more time, but recording your face and then putting on, for me, is just a lot quicker. So even if the eye roll, as you can see there, we can even play with that as well. So eye roll to the right. I want it to be a bit more right than that. So let's just make sure we work in a keyframe. I zoom in. There, I'm zoomed in, and I want the eyes. So let's look down left, look down right, and I want the eye look in the right. There. There we go. So what's nice about this specific model, the vampire model, is it also has a transform, because it's a vampire priest. So he's even the morph targets. So there we go. So yeah, we can morph him, morph the teeth. This is screen morph. See what happy looks like. See that's a happy face, happy. It's a much better happy one than I've got. But it's happy. Let's look. Angry pain. Ooh, that is angry. And we can change him to a vampire as well. Let's see, sad. Oh my word. Let's morph into a vampire. So yes, there's all the morphs you can play with and make your animation exactly what you want. So what we can do next is actually add animation to this as well. So let's do that. New scene, and then I can import an animation that I did previously. Kneeling, put that in. Oh no, rig it. I just want to add it, and there's the animation. Okay, great. I just want to copy and paste the skeleton, so and I'm going to do the same here. So I copy the skeleton there. I'm going to do the same here, highlight, and then we do Control Shift V, Control Shift C, and it's highlighted. Control Shift V. Let's see if that works. That works, and then our facial animation, which is also pulled through. So let's just do this, highlight everything, and I'm going to put it on. I want us to do a cycle. There we go. Let's see. There we go. So do a cycle all the way through. See if that works. go. Here's a cycle.
After reviewing that, I see I must make my facial expressions more exaggerated, and I'll also do some expressions. So let's start me rolling my eyes, blinking, eyes closed, and this is me talking in an exaggerated fashion. I am opening my mouth widely, tongue. So if I talk like this,
so as you can see, you can add any animation you want. So for example, you can do like a performance. So let's actually do that too. Performance is not going to match at all. There we go. Okay, let's see what this looks like. So now my my animation of the meta-human has been translated there. Let's see what this looks like.
After reviewing that, I see I must make my facial expressions more exaggerated, and I'll also do some expressions. So let's start expressions first. Happy, sad, and angry. Me rolling my eyes, blinking, eyes closed. And this is me talking in an exaggerated fashion. I am opening my mouth widely, tongue. So if I talk like this, which is very South African, if I talk, I'm going to talk with my mouth open a lot more, but hopefully this helps with the animation. I don't have to talk like this, but this is what is coming out of my mouth.
Okay, so it doesn't completely match my character, because obviously it's meant for a woman as well, but I'm now going to export this, and then we're going to re-import this back into Unreal. So then we go File, Export, FBX, and we say Objects as well now, and looks good. And we say Export, and I'm going to do let's go test upload, save, and then I'm going to re-import this test epilogue. There we go, and I do want a skeleton of the vampire, and then I'm going to leave import static meshes there, and import skeleton and import morph target. So morph target is our the most important thing. So let's go import. Okay. So that's because I selected skeleton mesh. So let's see what the animation says. There it talks. Okay, perfect. Now that works. Okay, and then we go animation, and we go test, because that's the latest one. And as you can see, all the stuff we played on Cascadeur is putting through. Let's play it. He's talking. And all the edits we made in Cascadeur then will also pull through over here. And that's then how you use your facial capture, edit it in Cascadeur, and then export it back into Unreal. I'm assuming Blender and Unity will have something similar. But yes, those are the steps. You can obviously do it from scratch as well. I hope it helps you. If you're using Cascadeur's free version and want to upgrade, I've also left a link down below. That's my affiliate link. You get 15% off your license should you use my code. Should you use my code epilogue. So if you are considering getting a Cascadeur, feel free to grab the 15%, and in that way also supporting me. And yeah, thank you very much. Bye.